medium, and I will be here doing some personal readings for those of you who want readings. They are paid readings only, okay, but Spirit does like to do 3 free collective readings, 3 free collective readings throughout the live. We often kick off with just a general spirit message of anything that they want to tell us as a collective. Also a love message later on in the next 2 hours, and also a career message, which is in the last hour. So what I will be doing is gonna open up the chat on my main computer because my phone is over here filming the live, and I can't see because it's tilted at an angle. I can't see any of the chat and it goes past too quick anyway, and I can't post on there, so I can only post on my big computer. So I'm just going to go and find the live. I'm not even in the live on my computer. Drop some bits in the chat for you all, and then we can kick off. Okay, so hello Yara, not surprised to see you. Been really thinking about you strongly the last few days, so glad you're okay. Hello Wendy, my lovely. Right, so I'm just dropping a load of things in the chat for those of you that are new, don't understand what's going on. And the last bit I'll put in here. Now, when I do the collective readings, I do, when the live is finished, put the timestamps into the comments section. So if today's ones don't resonate, then by all means you can go back to the other lives and go in the comments section and just watch the ones that are relevant to you. If not, if you can't get a paid reading, if you can't get PayPal where you are, if you can't resonate with any of the free messages, then please check out my shorts. There are loads of shorts that will probably give you the answer, although they're not personal to you, that might help you in some way, plus various video readings and pick a card readings in their own playlist. Right, okay. So I don't have any prepaid readings to jump into. So I am going to, hello Marina, my lovely. I'm going to set up for the collective spirit message. Now, again, for those of you who are new, I expect it's just my regulars that are in at the moment. But if you are new here, just come across me, welcome. I do channel spirit, so I'm hearing the message from them, but I'm using cards as a visual for you. I'm not reading the tarot cards, okay? But obviously with oracle cards, they have a written message on. So I will be reading what the message is that spirit has drawn for us. And then I will be telling you the message that they're giving me to go with the message on the cards, okay? Because there's often a deeper message as to why they're bringing these out. Hello, Stormy, my lovely. Right, okay. Excuse me. Okie dokie. So, Spirit, what message would you like us to hear this week? Yeah. How did that happen? Never mind. Right, okay. There you go. I didn't even know that was in there. That little accident was done until Spirit brought that to my attention. Right, okay. So this does seem, as we've got self-employment and we have got new career, let's take it that it's a message for those of you who've been wondering about starting up your own business. Okay, so let's come to these first then. So self-employment, okay, says you're a born entrepreneur and your business is surrounded by magical opportunities. The new career says your work focus is shifting in a positive, new and successful direction. So to help you get there, okay, so if you are thinking about setting off on your own, if you are wondering about a new career, okay, it doesn't have to be self-employed, but it could be like if you're wanting to do contract work or something like that, or a project, okay, you may have been sort of in the process of doing it. Okay, what Spirit is saying, first of all, is your hard work is paying off. Even if it's just not physical work, you haven't actually physically started it, the work that you're doing in your mind, okay, is going in the right direction. So Spirit is saying here, okay, what do you desire right now? Visualize it and it will come about. Negativity will block your progress. Okay, so if you are thinking about self-employment and new career, but you're stuck in your own head, then what does it feel like to you? If you went through a door and Spirit said, right, here is you, or you're looking at a version of you that is already set up in business or whatever, how would you feel? How does that version of you feel? Visualize it. What would you be doing? What would you be hearing? What would you be seeing? What would your pay be like? What would your role be like? How would you feel? Important or whatever, okay? But to ground yourself, connect with nature, okay? Even if it's just like reminding yourself to take a little break and go for a walk to get those downloads, okay? People often say to me, well, how do I, Spirit will say, we're trying to send you signs, but you've got the door locked, okay? And they were like, how have I got the door locked? I'm always asking for signs, or I'm looking. No, because your head is always in your mind, is non-stop, either in the past or in the future. It's not in the now. You're not at peace in the now. You're not actually taking 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes to actually sit down quietly, whether you're indoors or outdoors, and just calm yourself and just observe what comes up in your mind. When you're observing what actually comes up in your mind, as the observer, the spiritual soul of you, observing the human version of you, the character, okay, that is where you can actually see where you're off with the fairies, down rabbit holes, spiraling, or you're on the right track. That's when you get those downloads to observe. You have to be the observer, okay? So, and when you do that, the angel of peace, okay, will bring you new tranquility and a smoother road ahead. Because when you are just a human being instead of a human doing, okay, all the doors open for you. You get those downloads. All the doors just automatically open. Okay, it's when you're fighting and you're trying to be a human doing, fixing, solving and everything, that it seems to go in the opposite direction. Okay, you're fighting upstream, okay, instead of going with the flow. They are just wanting me to pull one from here. Yeah, you're guarded. Okay, you're guarding the entrance there. You've got the door closed. Your mind is sort of blocking out what your heart is wanting. Okay, you've got to get by us first. We've got to give it clearance. Oh, no, I don't think that's safe. Okay, get out of your own way. Stop guarding yourself. You're stopping the downloads coming in. So did that resonate with anybody in the chat this week so far? What's this one as well? Yes, confidence is the key to your success. Okay, being confident in the unseen and trusting yourself. Yes, Spirit is saying you're being helped. Okay, heaven is working behind the scenes to help you, even if you don't see results yet. But in order to hear them, you've got to be still. Right, okay. Okay, for the moment, as there's not a lot of the chat going on, you can still see what I've put in the chat. Okay, so you can sort of pull the chat down or whatever and just read what's in there. Saves me keep posting it all back in. I do want to put in that we've still got 2 to go, but they won't be just yet. Okay. I do a live for those of you who are new here. If you are new, welcome. Okay, then I do a live on a Sunday and a Wednesday. A lot of people don't want a reading read out on YouTube in a live, so you can book your own personal reading. It's not the same price as in the live. Okay. And also, as there aren't any readings at the moment, when there aren't any readings, sometimes it's full, other times it's hit and miss, and sometimes it's none. Okay, I'm here even if I help one person, even if the free collective readings that Spirit do helps somebody. Okay, but let's chat rather than being silent. So that means you can ask me about spiritual things. Okay, it will be my point of view from what I've learned or what I know or what I've practiced. Okay, that might help some of you if you've often wondered about spiritual things but aren't sure. It doesn't mean that my word is law. It's just from what I've experienced myself, okay, or what I've heard of, if I haven't actually done it. If not, we will be sat in silence and I'll be drinking my tea. Anybody doing anything for Halloween? Any parties? Dressing up? Okay. Give my love to the fur babies. When I feel like I'm starting to get stuck, I always remember your card of the thief stealing time. Yes, remember there is trying to make flapping fairy wings. Oh yeah, I forgot your birthday is Halloween. So Marina, you have to remember that when you're 2 things, okay, yes, the thief card is stealing it's not stealing a wallet, it's stealing a pocket watch. And that is Spirit saying to us that you're worried about the time, how long something is taking. Okay, I'm trying to find it here so that others will know what Marina is referring to. Oh, but it's right at the end here. Okay, thief. The thief is stealing a pocket watch, which signifies time. Now, in the universe, there is no time. Okay, there is no time. Everything is now. There is no past. There is no future. The past is something you are only thinking about right now as one experience of the past. There are all possibilities of the past. So if you've grown up in a poor family, there is also a version, a timeline where you grew up rich. Okay, but because you keep remembering the poor version, you're in that sort of, you're bringing that into the now and you're experiencing more of it. Okay, you're keeping that in a loop. You can go, when you think of the past, because the past only exists right now, you can change it. You can put another memory in there. Okay, because if you can think of something, it's just as real and valid as what you perceive as your true experience. Okay, so the future is what you are thinking about today. The loop you're in, or where your awareness and your thoughts go, is what your future will be. You will keep experiencing more of that. There is no linear time, but because we're taught time when we're little, we now believe in time. Okay, now since I have been since I've been focused on the now, okay, so everything for me is I already have it right now, because the minute you think of something, you can decide whether you want it. And if as soon as you say, yeah, I want that, it's done. You've decided. Me and my specific person are back together. Yes, it's done. Even though the reflection, the physical world, the shadow world, the dead world, the hologram, the illusion, whatever anybody calls it, okay, it's not solid and real. We perceive it as solid and real for us to have a physical experience in it. Okay, so Marina, if you are seeing something as still separate from you and you're still thinking about the time it's taking, the journey you're on, okay, then you are still seeing it as I've got to do X, Y, or ABC to get to XYZ. You're creating a gap. There isn't a gap. You already have it. It's already in your awareness, but it's how you're now aware of it. That is why your awareness and you embodying that version, because the version of you who has it is not wondering where the fuck it is. Okay? So what I do is I say, there is only right now. And right now is perfect because I am, whatever you're putting after I am, is what you will experience. Okay, I am rich, I am poor, I am healthy, I am sick, I am a victim, I am having a shit day, I am whatever. There's always an I am. Okay, or somebody asks you, how are you? I am feeling fucked off. Okay, oh, I'm feeling really happy. Okay, so we move through states all the time. Okay, you can wake up in the morning feeling pissed off, by lunchtime you're happy as Larry, and by the evening you're crying your eyes out. Okay, we have experienced different states, but it's overall who you embody. Okay, Marina, so when you're not stuck, you're never stuck. There is only right now. What are you choosing and deciding? Remember, all outcomes exist. All possibilities exist. Creation is done. You're not creating anything. You're not trying to get something. Okay, you've decided, oh, I like that idea. That's what I want. That feels good to me. So therefore, I've given it to myself, like Bashar says. You've given yourself the permission slip. And you keep reminding yourself when it pops into your head, oh, I already have that. And you get on with your day. Okay, I'm already with my SP right now. Okay, and you get on with your day. All right, I already have the money I want in my bank account, and you get on with your day. Okay, so when you're noticing time and you're saying you're stuck, okay, you've got to remind yourself, I'm not stuck, I already have it. Do you understand, Marina? You know, like Neville's, what did Neville say? You are already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe it is the only reason you do not see it. Calleth things that are not seen as though they were, and the unseen becomes seen. Okay, everything depends upon our attitude towards ourselves. That which we will not affirm as true of ourselves will not develop in our lives. So let's break that down. Everything depends upon our attitude towards ourselves. Remember, you never get what you want, you get reflected back to you the version of you that you're identifying with and embodying. Pardon me. So the second bit, that which we will not affirm as true of ourselves will not develop in our lives. Okay, so when you are not affirming, okay, to yourself what you want to see, and you're only affirming that you don't want to see, okay, if you're not affirming what you want to see as true before you see it, then you're not going to see it because it's still unseen, because it's not seen in your awareness as you having it. Hello, my lovely. I'm not sure what that says, but letter A. You know, I love Joseph Murphy as well. One of his famous sayings from The Power of the Subconscious Mind is change your thoughts and you change your destiny. Okay, and Bashar, coming back to Bashar, you get the experience you focus on. Okay, so if you don't want to keep in that loop where you don't have it, you have to have a loop of thoughts in your head where you already have it right now, because there is only right now. Okay, there is no linear time. We experience it as linear time, but it's not. Eckhart Tolle, or whatever his name is, realize deeply that the present moment is all you will ever have. In the Bible, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Okay, or Mark 11:24, therefore I say unto you, what things soever you desire when you pray, doesn't mean, dear God, please let me have it. It means when you are affirming that you already have it, okay, prayer is affirming, believe that you receive them and you shall have them. Okay. Hello, Andrea, my lovely. Hello, Neela. Again, I don't want to put a load of stuff in the chat just yet. I mean, I've just scrolled back in the chat and you can easily see what I've already put. Actually, whilst we aren't doing any readings at the moment, it gives me a chance to sort my cards out because I haven't given them a good little old separation for a week. Don't forget, you can ask anything spiritual, not personal. For personal readings, I mean spiritual. The personal readings are paid readings only. Okay, the next collective reading will be at 1:45. Yeah, 1:45, which will be the love reading. What do you mean, Neela? You want to ask something? Or you want to share something? Yes, Neela, I've said before, there's lots of manifesting music, affirmations to music. I like, I've told you before on here which ones I like in my playlist. There's Orion. Let me come back to YouTube to my playlist. So I've got Orion affirmations, music to manifest, magical aura, and manifest soul music. They're the three I like, or four, however many that was. Yara, Sophia, we are not sending our thoughts to SP, right? If SP isn't outside of us. When you think of your specific person, right, remember this, first of all, Yara. Your specific person only exists because you became aware of them. If you hadn't become aware of them, they would not exist. Okay, so like, for instance, in this YouTube live, okay, it says that there are 8 people watching, but I'm only aware of Yara and Neela and Andrea and Marina and Stormy that have put in the chat. I don't know who else is on here. I'm not aware of their names. Okay, so they don't exist to me, if you like. They exist only as my awareness of a number of viewers that are watching. Okay, so because it's your personal reality, Okay, you only experience your world through your awareness. Your specific person only exists because you became aware of them. Does that make sense so far? Which you've heard a lot of times. Okay. So if you were not aware of your specific person, he would not exist to you. You would have no knowledge of him. You would not be aware of him. He would not exist to you. Okay. But now when you think, two things happen here. Your awareness of him and the identity you are embodying. Remember, you don't get what you want, you get who you are being. Okay, so when you are thinking about your specific person, you are choosing and selecting within you the version that already loves and adores you and is obsessed with you. Okay, the version in all potential realities that you're already dating, living with, married to. Okay, so you're not going to the physical world thinking, I have to make him change his mind. He loves me and he adores me. Okay, remember, everybody is a reflection of you. So are you loving yourself, choosing yourself, prioritizing yourself, obsessed with yourself? Okay, so when you are doing that, it will automatically get reflected back to you anyway. You don't even, if SP pops into your head, as time is only right now, how are you thinking about them? Are you still seeing yourself as separate from them? You're here and they're there. You're never separate from them. They exist within your awareness. Okay, you're not over here wanting them. You're not having to bridge some gap. Okay, so if the 3D is just a mirror, you're not sending you, it's how you're thinking about him. Okay, there is absolutely no points, okay, thinking, making it all about him. If you do not have a concept of self, okay, that is feeling chosen, prioritized, and desired and loved, okay, because if you're not obsessed with yourself, not in a narcissistic, egotistical way, okay, when you are putting your focus on you, look at how many women, okay, or men put hardly any effort into a relationship. They're not chasing their person. They're not obsessed with that person. But the other person is obsessed with them. Okay? Because when they're being the magnet and they know they're chosen and they're choosing themselves, they don't need to be validated by somebody else. They know automatically that because they validate themselves, others will validate them. Okay? That's how you're perceiving it. Okay? Because you're doing it and you're wanting the proof and evidence to support it. You are the proof and evidence. If you've said, I am chosen, you are chosen. Because there is only right now. You don't have to look and wait for somebody to choose you. That's going back to, I am not chosen and I'm waiting to be chosen. So you're in a waiting loop again. Yara, you have to be aware of your thoughts regarding you, men, relationships, and your specific person. Remember, the heart and the mind have to be in the same thoughts. It's no good you saying, my SP loves me. Oh, but no, he doesn't. He's over here and I've got to try and make him, and send a load of affirmations out there in the hope that one of them will land. And that if you're not embodying Yara right now, every time you think about it, you're already right now with him in a loving relationship and he loves and adores you. Okay, because you know that he chooses and prioritizes you because you choose and prioritize yourself and you're first, best, and the prize, whatever you want to tell yourself, then there's no point because you are in a loop of looking out there. I've got to do XYZ to get ABC. Hence the fact nothing's changing. You don't get what you want, you get who you are being. Do you think a multimillionaire has to check his bank account every day? Do you think that married people have to check if their partner is with them every day? Okay. If you are a mother, do you have to check and remind yourself that you're a mother every day? No. So you're adjusting and reminding yourself that you already have it until it hardens into fact. Again, going back to the Neville quotes. Okay, you make the unseen seen. Because once you're making it seen in your mind, it gets projected out and reflected back. Do you understand that? There was a brilliant... So, for example, okay, this was on somebody else's channel. It was in one of their posts. I can't remember the name. Obviously, the person was anonymous who'd put in the thing. And I can't remember for the life of me which channel I saw it on, so I do apologize. But it's such a good story that I want to share it, okay? So basically, this person who'd put the written in to the person's channel, okay, had said that they'd been having a shit show of a time with somebody at work, a boss or a supervisor, who they described as really mean, really horrible, and kept cutting their pay or keeping money from them or something. So, of course, she was getting more of that because she kept focusing on that. Where your energy goes, or flows, sorry, where your energy flows, it grows or something, you know, it stays there. Okay, so she was told, well, don't focus on her being there or doing that. So either change the way you're seeing her or just say she's fired. So she went with, she's fired. Now, logically, this woman would have thought, yeah, where energy goes, attention flows. So logically, she would have thought, right, she probably pisses somebody else off and they get her sacked, okay, or she does wrong. No, this woman ends up having a tete-a-tete, a nookie, rumpy-pumpy with an employee at another branch, got found out and got fired. So the woman, the girl who was having the bad experience with her in her awareness because of the labels she was putting on there and the story she was focusing on, she's mean, she's horrible, she's a bitch, she keeps my pay back, okay, when she started focusing on, no, it's okay, she's fired, okay, could never have thought that that was going to be the unfolding of her being fired. So do you understand, when you're putting the story you're telling in your head is what will get reflected back. Okay, the reason that other people are showing up like your specific person is because you're still waiting for your specific person. So they can't come forward because you're not embodying Yara, who is in that relationship with that specific person. You're still waiting. Yeah, but everybody else here is here, Sophia. But where's my specific person? They're no different to the others. But you've got a story attached to them. You haven't got a story attached to the others. You don't care if they show up. You know, I had a client the other day who said, well, I can embody me being that and I feel it for like about 3 or 4 days, but then I start to spiral and wonder where it is. So you've fallen out of the state, but instead of picking yourself back into the state, what they are doing is then keeping themselves in the loop. Is I'm good for a couple of days, but then I start to look for it and I spiral. So they're in that loop now because that's the story they're telling. Remember, there is only right now. So whoever, whatever pops into your mind, you decide right there and then what you're choosing and deciding. Okay, so all of these piles of cards are all the different possibilities. You're with your SP, you're not with your SP. Your SP, you've never even met them before, you don't even know who they are. They're married to somebody else, you're with somebody else, you're married to somebody else, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so in pops your specific person. Are you going to this one? Oh, it's okay. There is only right now, and we're already in a happy, loving relationship. Okay. Oh my God, we're perfectly happy together and stronger than ever. Are you saying, well, it's been 6 years and there's been nothing at all? Then there isn't 6 years. You're focusing on 6 years. There is only right now. So you can say, well, the last 6 years we've been happily together since the day we met. Okay, because yes, there is that possibility that you've been happy together since the day you met. But you're still looking out at this one that it's been 6 years of absolutely nothing. Okay, so yes, you are still waiting for him. As soon as something pops into my head, I'm deciding whether the story is in favor of what I want or not in favor. Because I know either way, I'm right. Okay? Your mind is only focused on I am not, I have, I do not in the now moments. Remember, it's a meaningless world. Nothing has a meaning until you give it a meaning. Well, it's you feeling in that relationship. So yes, you can do that. You don't have to have a full-blown 4D experience, HD experience in your head. I don't see things very clearly when I try to force a visual. Okay, if I'm washing up or if I'm doing something, cooking or whatever, and I'm just sort of, my mind drifts, then yes, I do have little flashes because your subconscious sort of thinks in images anyway. Okay, as I've said before, if I said to you, oh, I saw a little girl in a blue dress holding a red balloon on the beach today, well, 3 things that I'm focused on. That I get a flash of a blue dress, I get a flash of a red balloon, and I get a flash of the sand. But it's like nanosecond. So you can, even if you're imagining him saying to you, Yara, you're the love of my life. Okay, I'm just so happy that we're together. But you've got to keep coming back to it. You've got to persist in the new story. If you keep bringing in the old and the new and the old and the new and you're all over the place, then it will go to the dominant I don't have. Okay, I'm going to start setting up for the love reading in a moment. Well, now. Remember, the time it's taken is the time it's taking you to embody the version of you that already has it. There is no time. It already exists. But you're not making it seen because you're still waiting. And you're flip-flopping. You either have him or you don't. Every time you think about him, you're the version who's in that relationship or you're not. He's either with you or he's not. Okay? You either have the relationship or you don't. Okay. We just have a swig of water. And again, you could sit there affirming until the cows come home, scripting till your arm drops off, bathing yourself in moon water, worshipping the moon, doing whatever. But if you are going around thinking of the opposite, that is what is going to be, because you're not identifying it. You're doing things to hope that you get something. Yes, you will get it. You either will get it or you won't. But if you do get it and your self-concept is so low that you get triggered at the slightest thing, it will fall apart again. Okay, so working on self-concept is 80%. You don't even have to think about your specific person. Okay, they automatically, everybody reflects back who you are being and who you say they are as well. Okay, so it's no good saying, yes, I'm chosen, I'm adored, but he's a knobhead. Okay, he's a player, he's a cheater and a liar and I hate him, because you're not in alignment with it. Right. Okay, I'm going to get into the love reading for the collective. Okay, so what Spirit likes to do is, well, we like them to cover 3 areas. If you're single, wanting to meet somebody new, you've got no attachment to anybody else, you do not want anybody back from your past, okay, then it's no contact if you're in no contact, okay, and then if you're in a relationship that has a very strong push-pull energy, or you've just had a bust up or a falling out. Okay, so these are the basics for base cards for all 3 areas, but then this will be for singles, that's for no contact, and that is for in a relationship. Okay, so let's see what Spirit gives us. Okay, if I put one back, it's because they're similar. To me, they're the same. Okay, so there's no point having 2 cards, wasting the deck with 2 cards. Okay, so if you are single, beautiful. Okay, a couple of things here. Okay, so with these 2 cards first, for those of you that are single, but again, like Spirit's just been saying, or what we've just been talking about, because it's all coming from Spirit about how things work. Okay, if you're wanting love in your heart, okay, but your mind is attached to a negative story around love or how you see yourself, do you see yourself as highly valuable or not worthy? Because you're not chosen. People don't choose you. People don't prioritize you. People don't commit to you. Okay, if you've got that attachment to an old story, you need to clear that. Okay, because if you're in that lower energy and you met somebody tomorrow, it's going to be the same story. Okay, unfolding. They will go. Okay, so if you're wanting love, okay, you want to open the door to romance, okay, where somebody is attracted to you and there's romantic feelings and you get to know each other and you have a new beginning, okay, and your relationship is protected, okay, then make sure that you're going into this with your heart's desire and your mind on the same page. So that's how you see yourself, how you see the person, the people that you go into relationships with, how you see relationships. Okay, so bear that in mind, because I get so many people who are like, I really want a relationship, when am I going to meet somebody, etc., etc., and Spirit say, well, at the moment you're not, because if you do, it will go tits up like all the others. Okay, you need to check the stories and the labels that you're sticking on first. They have to go. The new can't come in if the old story is still there. It will play out the same. Different face, different name, same story. Okay, for those of you in no contact, remember, no one is separate from you. Your person is not separate from you. They're still wondering and thinking about you. If you're thinking about them, they are thinking about you, because they only exist because you're aware of them. Okay? But it's how you're aware of them. Okay? Are you aware here that they're yours? That you're married or living together right now? Because there is only right now. There isn't a future. The future depends on what you're telling yourself right now. Okay? Oh, they are absolutely obsessed with me. Of course they're pursuing me. Okay? We don't want to put this wall where they're wanting to come forward because they think the world of you. But you're putting the wall up there. Oh, but I'm blocked. So you're focused on being blocked. You're calling them an ex when you're wanting them back. Call them your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your lover, your partner, your honey bunny, your babe. Okay? Not a fucking ex. There's no good you wanting a beautiful relationship with them and you're calling them an ex. You will keep them as an ex. Okay? Who are you being? In the relationship where they're yours, you're having a lovely time, you're getting to know each other, you've got all these beautiful feelings for each other. Okay? So, you know, if you want your new beginning, you have to come out of the cold and into the warmth. Love is unconditional, which means there's no conditions. The amount of times I get people when I'm doing readings, so when will my person contact me? And Spirit will say, it doesn't matter if they contact you in the next 5 minutes. Because you haven't changed the story. So they haven't changed. So they'll come back in and it'll be the same old loop. Yeah, but when are they going to change so that I can be happy? They are who they are based on the story you're giving them. Because they only exist in your awareness and how you're aware of them. Okay, so check your labels and your stories here. Okay, right now, every time you think about your person, you should be thinking of them in the relationship and not in no contact or an ex, or you're blocked. Okay, if they're with a third party, you created that third party through your awareness of how you see yourself, not chosen, not prioritized. You're quite right. They chose somebody else. They're a player. They're a cheater. They've got form. You're quite right. They had to play that role. Everybody reflects back who you say you are or who you say they are. Okay. If they're with a third party, then if that pops into your head, you just say, I don't know who that is. You're not giving them energy. I don't know who that is. Because my person has only, I don't know who that is because I'm the only person or woman or man that my person, Fred, has ever loved. Okay? If you're in an up and down relationship, okay, then again, your person still loves you, still attracted to you, okay, but are you putting that wall between what you want and what you're seeing? Okay, there's still romantic feelings there. If you've still got feelings for them, they've still got feelings for you. But what are the seeds that you've sown? Because you're harvesting the seeds that you've sown in your thoughts, okay? They will reveal to you if you're saying that we're happy together. Okay, what's this little one? True love. Yeah. Okay, I'm the love of their life. We're perfectly happy together. We're stronger than ever. Oh, I'm always forgiven. You can tell yourself anything. You can tell yourself that every time you go to the toilet, you win the lottery. If you keep assuming that for long enough, it will become a fact that every time you go to the toilet, you get a notification that you've won the lottery. Okay, what you assume to be true will harden into fact. So look at the stories you're telling yourself. You're out when your heart and your mind is in alignment. There is another name. I can't think what it's called. Coherence, is it? Or I don't know. Then it's like perfection. It all falls into place. You don't need to figure out how. You're just being the person of you as you, a human being instead of a human doing. How do I get them to commit to me? How do I find love? Just be the person who has it, and it will automatically get reflected to you. Getting your person, finding love, getting your specific person back, calming down a relationship and being happy in a relationship is no different to you going and making a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. It's the story and the labels and the assumptions that you have that trip you up and get in the way. And I get so many people who are, yes, Sophia, but you don't understand. My situation is different. It's unique. Conditions and circumstances are irrelevant. It's who you are being in your head and how you are thinking of your person. Believe me, I have coached so many people, whether it's through readings or whether it is through coaching, okay, to change how they're viewing things, what their awareness is of, and who they're identifying as, okay, that have turned around the most incredible situations that they could not have logically thought about. Never bring logic into this. There is no logic to it. It happens in ways that you could never predict, okay? Hello, Amanda, my lovely. Okay, so we've got the career reading at past. And the timestamps for the collective readings will be in the comments section after the live. Right, so as there's no paid readings at the moment, I'm just going to carry on sorting through my cards. But again, if you want to speak about or ask me anything spiritual, not personal, I'm not doing free personal readings, it's paid readings. Then you can. Anything spiritual. Hello, Amanda, my lovely. I did say hello. Mind you, I do mumble sometimes, so you might not have heard me. Night, Yara. Sweet dreams. Remember, Yara, are you falling asleep as a woman who's in that relationship? Or are you still thinking of the relationship? If you're still thinking of it and not from it, you're keeping it away. I don't get much quiet time, so while I'm sat here doing nothing, gives me a time to sort these out. There you go. Winner, winner. Now, if you'd have logically tried to think, how would it happen? You wouldn't have come up with it being the electricity. You just decide. Decide and it will all unfold. Okay. That's fine, Amanda. Sweetheart, there are loads of short videos. There are lots of other readings. Okay, in the lives. All the lives I've done this year have had the collective readings on spirit messages, love readings, and career. Okay, so you can go back to the previous lives in the lives tab and just go in the comments and see where the timestamps are, so you don't have to trawl through all the lives. Also, if you love a pick a card reading, there's a whole playlist with them in. It doesn't matter how long ago I did the videos or the shorts, because they're not time sensitive unless it has been around a subject that was time sensitive at that time. can't believe that this deck is about 30 years old. I know it's not all the deck, it's only the, some of, even then, it's not all the major arcana. For any of you that are wanting to do intuitive tarot readings, okay, I mean, I don't do the tarot, the cards are just visuals for you, okay, and I didn't have the heart to throw my decks away, but I do channel spirit direct now, and have done for a couple of years, okay, so I do have a tarot course, okay. I haven't linked it actually in under any of the latest lives, but if you go back to my videos in the description, you will see the information there, because it helps you how to, when I explain in it, I think even in the introduction that is that you can listen to, about when I first got this deck. That was my very first deck. Apart from the pictures on here, the rest were just like 2 coins, 3 coins, 4 coins, 3 swords. Okay, it meant nothing to me. Okay, then the second deck I got in 1995 was this deck. Okay, so it did have like the 4 of Wands, isn't just 4 wands, it's got a picture. Okay, but I was looking at the booklet and learning the meanings. So when I was doing the so-called Celtic cross spread and whatever, it just meant fucking nothing to me. It was boring. Okay, it was like, oh, that's the past, that's the future, that's the obstacle, that's this, that's that. And it was like, what the hell? I didn't feel like I was doing a reading. Okay, so I put them away, didn't touch them for a little while. But then sort of I was drawn to do them again. I think I got into a different group of friends and I was doing readings for them. And I was just looking at the pictures. Okay, I wasn't reading the book. And that's why this deck, these 5 decks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are all normal tarot cards, but they all have a different picture. Okay, so the Queen of Cups in this deck is different to the Queen of Cups in that deck, that deck, and that deck. So they're all seen differently to me. I don't do them as the traditional what's in the book meaning. Okay, that's when your readings, if you think about it, you're stuck with, oh, I can't even remember how many cards are in a deck, 72, 76 or something, I don't know, I can't remember. If you have just that many cards and you're doing, like I've done thousands of readings over the 30 odd years, okay, then they come in a different order. Okay, it's like pictures, photos from a film, clips. Okay, so for me, they're pictures behind what spirit is now channeling. That's how I work now. Okay. Have I just done them? I think I did, didn't I? I think I did. I haven't done these yet. What's your biggest manifestation you're aware of creating? That I'm aware of creating. Oh God, even when I look back, okay, even when I look back before I was a conscious, you know, consciously aware of what I'm bringing into my life. My children, I knew that my first one was a boy. I always knew I'd have a boy and a girl. Okay, I knew that my first pregnancy was a boy. I never had like the scan to say what the sex was. I don't think we had the choice then. I don't remember being asked if I wanted to know the sex. With my second one, I really wanted a girl. Okay, I wanted one of each. I wasn't worried about what order they came in. So I always sort of knew that I'd have one of each. But when I was pregnant, the second time, and it was a girl. Okay, even when she was born, they said, "Oh, congratulations, you got a boy." I was like, no, that must be wrong. I'm sure it's a girl. And it was what the midwife had seen was a cord. Okay, so they assumed it was its bits. But I think part of me, because I was like, oh, am I just hoping it's a girl? I'm going to be so disappointed if it's another boy. Not because I didn't want another boy, but because I wanted a boy and a girl. I only wanted 2 children. Okay. Learning to drive. I always knew that I'd drive, and I passed my test first time on a Friday the 13th. Back then I was very superstitious. But now I'm not. This house, lots of things. A job, jobs, lots of jobs I've manifested. Just loads of things. I do keep a track. I have done over the last few years, or since I've been consciously aware of what stories I'm telling and what I'm thinking about. I mean, for instance, Neela, Yara was in here. Yara has not been in the chat for months. Okay, but the last 2-3 days, I've really been thinking about Yara. She's been popping into my head. Okay, now whether she's been thinking about me or whether it was me thinking about her, I don't know. Okay, but she was the first one in the chat today. And I said, not surprised to see you here, because I've been really thinking about you, been in on my mind. Okay, so of course it had to get reflected back. But I didn't have a story around her. Okay, I wasn't seeing her as blocked or not liking me or whatever. There was no story. It was like, oh, I wonder how Yara's doing. I wonder if she's okay. Boom, there you go. In fact, I think it was only sort of yesterday that I started thinking about her, because I was watching a channel that I've seen her in the chat before, and wondered if her name was going to be read out by the person, and it wasn't. But it did make me think of her, and then here she is in my chat today as first in the queue. Remember, everything in your physical world is what you've manifested. Okay, it wouldn't exist else, because it's a reflection of your awareness, your beliefs, your assumptions, what you're aware of, the labels, the stories, the memories. Okay, how are we doing for time? Every time I see Neela in the chat, it reminds me of a film I absolutely love. It's on Netflix, called Far Away, where the woman is Turkish, I think, and goes to Croatia. I just find that film so funny. I think I've watched it about 4 times and still laugh my head off. Far away. No, it's not far and away, it's far away. Yes, it's a movie. Did I flap these ones out? Have I done these? I can't remember. I'll do them again. I haven't. Bye-bye, Marina, my lovely. Remember, there is only right now. You either have it or you don't. You either are it or you're not. The minute it pops into your head, not 3 hours later. Remember if I'd done these either. Okay, Neela, let me know when you're in the chat. Okay, so it's one card, Neela, and let's see what Spirit wants to say to you. Okay, they're actually... I am going to use these two for you because they are one and the same, if you like. Okay, so Neela, what Spirit is saying to you is trust the in-between. Okay, you're standing in a space where the old chapter has ended, but the new one hasn't fully materialized yet. Okay, so Spirit wants you to know that the silence doesn't mean nothing's happening. It means everything's rearranging behind the scenes so that it fits better this time. Okay, so the guidance is to practice receiving. Rest is not laziness, it's preparation. Okay, so what they're saying here is believing. This card is always about believing. This little boy believes in Father Christmas. He believes in the Tooth Fairy. Okay, so it's his wishes coming true because he believes in that. Okay, he's got no proof of Father Christmas. He's got no proof of the Tooth Fairy. It's only things he's heard, okay, or been taught. Okay, but in his mind, they're real. Okay, and what do we have here? The card of Halloween. Okay, the pumpkins. Okay, but this is like your house or your heart glowing. Okay, so sometimes when this comes out in a reading and it's sort of September and somebody's wanting to move, I'll say, yes, the move will be between now and the end of October. Okay, but Spirit is saying here, just trust. You're the proof. You're the validation. Believe that once you've decided, it's done. Everything is set in motion. You don't have to effort and try. You just need to remain saying, I already have it. And then a lot of things can pop up really quick. I mean, what are we on now? The 26th? What are we, 4 days? Okay. So if you're thinking of moving as well, as you say, then you have to see yourself as already moved. Remember when you did the apartment, you saw yourself in the, oh yeah, I've already moved. Okay. And describe as if a friend is asking you, oh, it's a beautiful apartment or it's a beautiful house that I'm renting. It's got this in it. It's got that in it. Okay. If you can think of it, it exists and it will find you. You will be guided to it. Okay. So just choose and decide every time you think about it. You're not waiting for it. You're claiming it and accepting that it's done. It's true. Father Christmas is coming on Christmas Eve. Bish, bash, bomb. They don't sit there going, oh, what if this? What if that? Children believe. Christmas Eve, Santa Claus. Lose a tooth under the pillow, Tooth Fairy. Easter, Easter Bunny. Okay, until their logical mind kicks in, okay, and the egoic self, the human logical self, which is still part of you, is not separate to you. Okay, you are all that is. Okay. I'm drawn to these ones for you, Stormy. Hello, innocent, my lovely. Stormy, did you still... You said when you were walking the dogs that you had a question. Do you still have a question to ask as well about something? I don't mean this reading that I'm about to do, but did you still have something you wanted to ask me that was separate to this? Okay, I'll come back to that in a minute. But let's just do your reading first. Excuse me. Okay, so we have the wonderful Judgment. Now, I know that you read tarot. I don't want you to bring in your meaning of it. Okay, so Judgment. You've got all these hands here as well, rising out, trying to grab you down, trying to judge you, trying to, you know, and your landlord is a typical example of this. Okay, so what Spirit is saying is stop judging yourself too hardly as well. Okay, what they want you to know is that you haven't lost your direction. You're just moving too fast to notice the signs sometimes. Okay, you don't need to push so hard. You're allowed to receive, because you've been in survival mode for a long time. Okay, now it's less, but you have been in survival mode. You're getting more of a grasp on how it's working. Okay, so the energy is shifting towards receiving and trust. Okay, so over the next sort of 6 to 8 weeks, you'll start to notice opportunities and ideas appearing almost effortlessly. Small little, synchronicities, confirmation that things are realigning. Okay, and when they come, don't talk yourself out of them. Don't just start judging. Okay, but what if this or what if that? Remember, don't put roadblocks in your way. Nothing has a meaning in the universe, and only the meaning you give things. Okay, and I'm seeing open hands, which is funny, which is the symbol for allowing help. Okay, Spirit wants you to stop carrying everything alone. Let others come in who can offer genuine support. Accepting help isn't a weakness. And those hands as well that are opening on here, those hands that are reaching out there, don't know if you can see them very much. Okay, so no judging yourself. You could be your own worst critic. Okay, critique. So reconnect with joy. It's been a long time since you've done something just because it lights you up. You started something and then you didn't finish it, Spirit is saying. Okay. So joy is guidance, not indulgence. Bashar always says, follow your happiness, or whether it's Abraham Hicks, I can't remember. Okay, but what makes your heart expand, even if it feels small or silly? Okay, your heart is your truth, your true compass, remember. Okay, it's safe for you to soften. You're ready to receive. All right, and you don't put yourself in receiving, not in waiting. As Bashar says, give yourself the permission slip. Okay. And also, right, okay, so what makes your heart expand? So following your happiness. So even something, if you have got a pile of dishes in the sink and you want to really fancy a coffee, but your logic mind is saying, no, you got to do the dishes first. Fuck the dishes, go and have a cup of coffee, then do the dishes. Okay, you want to do something or you need to do something and you're like, no, I really want to do something else. Then do it first. Follow your happiness first. Okay. That's a good idea. Put myself in the idea of receiving, giving myself that permission slip. Yeah, because everything is you. Okay. Neela, I think that said more, plenty. I don't know what you want to go deeper into. Everything is what meaning you give it. So don't waste your money going deeper for something that you already know the answer to, Spirit is saying. Okay. So regarding your landlord, first of all, if he says he's dying because of you, it's not because of you. Okay. Yes, you've seen him in a negative light more than you've seen him in a positive light. Okay, so he will still keep showing up as your dominant awareness of him. Okay, now you didn't actually think, okay, that you didn't actually think, oh, he's going to come knocking on my door, give me a hard time, abuse me, and tell me that it's all my fault that he's dying. You didn't think that consciously, but you do have a negative. When you view someone as negative, they will keep showing up doing negative things. Okay. So that's hence the fact you're still having problems with him. You know, you and your dad might sit there having stories about him. Oh, the landlord, oh, he's such an arse, oh, he's so negative, and this place is a dump, and the landlord doesn't do this, and this place is a shithole. So you've got a very negative story. So he has to keep popping up as a negative character in your script. Okay? You haven't changed the story around it. Okay, you're not waking up every day as Stormy who's in a beautiful new house. You're still the Stormy trying to do XYZ to get to ABC. It's the identity you're waking up as and going to sleep as and who you're being throughout the day. Okay, shadow your thoughts. You know, and how you always refer to trying to tear my lungs out for no reason. Okay, so that's a story that you have, that's a limiting belief within yourself. So you've had to experience it. Okay, I've never heard of that term before. Okay, and I expect a lot of other people don't use that term, but it's something that you seem to have heard or put words in the way that you see it and experience it. So that's why you got more of it. Okay, everything out there is only a reflection. Okay, the mirror can only reflect back who you're being and your story and your memories. There is no past. There is no 10 years ago, 1 year ago, 1 second ago. There is only right now. You keep dragging the past into the now and keeping more of it. Okay? Right, so they're his beliefs and his words. You don't have to keep believing those. You can change that. Remember, there is only right now. There is no past. There is a version of you that never went through any of that. Yet you keep holding on to one version out of all these versions. This is the truth. No, these are all the truths as well. They're just as valid, Stormy. Okay? Right, but you don't have to keep clinging to that. You can if you want to, but it's keeping you in a negativity where literally people are sucking the life out of you. Okay? Making you want to scream and shout. Okay? You don't need to purge it, Stormy. You don't need to purge anything. That's just somebody else's beliefs that you have to purge something. You don't have to. There is only right now. Stop going back into it. It's like on Tom Caron's channel. Also, Be Something Wonderful. He's got two. He's calls one Tom Caron and one as Be Something Wonderful. Okay, where he always goes back to a certain sci-fi, Deep Space Nine or something, where there is a particular person who is looking at something very negative because his wife took her own life or something, or was killed. Okay, and the light beings, which are your conscious awareness, he says to them, why do you keep bringing me back here? And they're saying, you keep taking us there. We're not taking you back there. You keep bringing that memory up and dwelling in it and sitting there, wallowing in it. All realities exist. All possibilities exist. But you keep taking yourself back there. The past only exists right now as you think of it. You're taking yourself into all that shit that it's been 10 years. Hasn't been 10 years. There's only right now. Okay, so stop doing it to yourself. You're the one doing it to yourself. Okay. Ellie, my lovely, are you in the chat? stop giving it energy. Okay. So Ellie, let's see what Spirit says. So I want to just check his energy in the current energy. Okay. Right, okay, so in his current energy, when he thinks about you, you know, he was happy to, you know, he was interested like you were, but now he's noticed that you're not around, okay, and he thinks you're not interested anymore. You've got your back turned to him, okay, so he's sort of thinking that you're not interested. He hasn't seen you around, okay, so you obviously weren't interested in him, okay, is how he is seeing it. In your energy, Spirit is saying you were seeing him as hot and cold. Okay. Oh, well, he seems interested, but he didn't sort of follow through on anything. Okay. But Spirit is saying you've got a lot of conflict in your thoughts. Okay. Look at what you're saying. Your limiting belief. That's a limiting belief that you have about the age gap. Because there are millions of people on this planet that there are age gaps, whichever way round it is. That is a limiting belief that you are putting in your way. Okay, love is unconditional. You have the story around the age gap. So your head is saying, oh no, I mean, look at the age. Oh no, we'd be better off with people our own age. Well, the people who have got in relationships that are happily married or in a happy, loving relationship, and there's a fucking great big age gap, are not going, oh no, it couldn't possibly. Okay, so get that belief out of your way. Stop that inner conflict. Stop thinking about that and move forward from that. Okay? You're putting conditions on love. So in the current energy between you both, okay, have fun. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Spirit is saying, have fun. Have fun when you think about him. Okay? Are you sort of, no, you're not even imagining going out on a date. You've put the brakes on it all. You know, start imagining you go into the shop and he sees you and his face lights up and he's like, oh my God, she's back. Oh my God, I've got to ask her out. Okay, it may not happen the first time you go in there. You don't have to keep stalking the shop. It's already done. The fact that you even want him, of thinking about him, the fact that he is in your awareness, he only exists because you're aware of him. You're not aware of the man in the florist. Okay? Exactly. Stormy. So you are stuck, drowning in your own emotions. All right? He is a mirror. He is a mirror of you, a reflection of you, because he only exists how you're aware of him. Okay? Which is causing the block. You're putting this block between you. Okay? Nourish yourself and give yourself self-love. And it will all unfold in an unexpected expected way. The fact that you desire him means that there's already a reality out of all these possibilities, because creation is done, where you're dating, where you're married, where you're living together, where you don't even know each other. Okay, so nourish yourself with what you do want, seeing yourself as already having it, and loving yourself. It doesn't matter if you're 100, you can still be attractive to men. Okay, it's the story you are telling yourself. Okay, it's safe for you to love. Okay, open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Love and gratitude are the highest energies, or you know, right up there. Okay, on the frequency chart, we're always operating from a frequency and vibration. You're broadcasting all day long, but look at the thoughts you're broadcasting. Oh no, there's an age gap. Why would he want me? No. Okay, it's safe for you to love. Open your heart energy. Oh my God, he's absolutely obsessed with me. I'm always chosen. I'm so beautiful. Every time I go in there, it's like his eyes pop out like in a cartoon character. Okay, so pleased to see me. But instead, you're seeing him as walking away, that he won't want me because I'm older or younger or whatever. He still thinks about you, and you still think about him. He exists. Why wouldn't the person that only exists in your life experience want you? It's only the story you're giving it. So make those changes. Now the light bulb moment has gone off. Make those changes so that you see the changes. Free yourself from the shit story you're telling yourself. Okay? You're telling yourself all those roadblocks you've put. Actually read back what you put and wonder why it didn't go anywhere. You put the roadblocks there. You gave it that meaning. So you have to experience the meaning you gave it, my lovely. Okay? You're still seeing it in the future as well. Anchor yourself into the fact that you already have it now. Your ship's already come in. We're already dating. Feel like you've hit the jackpot. The future is what you're deciding it is right now. All these are your future options from what you're deciding right now. He doesn't want me. You're quite right. He doesn't want you. He wants me. You're quite right. He does want you because you're always right. You're sitting there worrying and concerned about it all. You stop it, Spirit is saying. Okay, have honor for yourself. You can have any man on this planet. Doesn't matter if they're 182. You're carrying around a bag of weeds. Oh, woe betide me, I can't have it. Okay? Focus within, in your mind, not what you're seeing in the physical, in the story you're telling yourself, my lovely. You're getting in your own way, Spirit is saying. If you want him, he's already yours, or else you wouldn't be aware of him. Okay, my lovelies. For those of you who've been patiently waiting for the career collective reading, let me pop these away and we'll get in. Right, Stormy, sorry, what did you put? Like, stop it. Yes. And you know that my husband's So, Ellie, there's still that mutual attraction between you, okay? Let gratitude replace longing. Be thankful for the spark, okay? Be thankful for the feelings, the little butterflies you had, okay? Be thankful for the feelings, the little butterflies you had, okay? Be thankful for the feelings, the little butterflies you had, okay? Be thankful for the feelings, the little butterflies you had, okay? Be thankful for the feelings, the little butterflies you had, okay? Be thankful for the feelings, the little butterflies you had, okay? Be thankful for the feelings, the little butterflies you had, okay? Be thankful for the feelings, the little butterflies you had, okay? Be thankful for the feelings, the little butterflies you had, okay? Be thankful for the feelings, the little butterflies you had, okay? Be thankful for the feelings, the little butterflies you had, okay? Be thankful for the feelings, the little butterflies you had, okay? Be thankful for the feelings, the little butterflies you had, okay? Be thankful for the feelings, the little butterflies you had, okay? Be thankful for But it's all about how you're seeing yourself, who you're identifying as yourself, how you're seeing him, because all versions of him exist. The one who doesn't want anything to do with you, the one who's head over heels in love with you, the one who's seeing that there's an age problem like you are, okay? Because you're focused on that version. Okay? Nobody's stopping you from having him except you, Spirit just said. We're not stopping you. The universe isn't stopping you. Okay, he's not stopping you. Just that you aren't, your heart and your mind aren't on the same page. Okay. Excuse me. Right, Spirit. Let's go into work. I think I only need those, actually. We've got the Ace of Pentacles twice, so I'm not going to put that out. So again, just to show you that they're the same, so there's no point choosing. In fact, I don't need one from there. And that is pretty much the same as well. So we'll just stick with these. So if you're looking for work, which order did they come out? We've got follow your heart. What is your heart's desire? Remember, if you desire something, it's already yours, or else you could not desire it. You would not be aware of it in your mind. Okay, so if you follow your heart, the money is there. It can grow. Okay, if you're wanting a pay rise, the money's already there. If you're wanting a promotion, the money's already there. If you're wanting a new job, the money's already there because you desire it. Okay, but you're getting in your own way, spiraling in your mind, and your mind is doing what? Projecting out those thoughts. So it gets reflected back to you, and you will see whatever obstacles you're putting in your way as to all the reasons why you can't have the money and why you can't have what you desire. Okay, have faith. The pregnancy bump is a world. You can have what you desire. You're birthing into your physical experience from your heart's desire what you want. But your thoughts have to match what your heart desires. Okay, there is work there for you. You can have a beautiful job. You're good at what you do. All the money around you as you're working. Okay, see yourself climbing the ladder. What would it feel like if you were a supervisor, a manager, got a promotion, got a pay rise? What are you spending your money on? What does that extra money or status feel like to you? Okay. So what you want is there, or else you would not want it, but you're overthinking it. You're letting your logical mind coming as to what all the reasons why you can't have it, why it's not happening. Have faith. What you want is already yours, or else you would not want it. Okay, the work is there. See yourself working. See yourself in that job. See yourself climbing that ladder. Okay? And don't forget that if that collective reading on career didn't resonate with you, then go back into the other lives, okay? Or even go on my shorts. In the other lives, after every live, I put the timestamps in the comments for each of the free collective readings. Okay, and you can listen to them. So the spirit message, the love reading, and the career one. Okay, what do you mean give yourself validation? You are the valid. You don't need validation from out there. It's just the mirror. Okay, when you validate yourself and choose yourself and you're the proof, you're not looking for proof, you are the proof because you said so. That is you validating yourself. Because you said so. Remember, it's the law of who you're being. The law of whatever Neela says it is. Because you get whatever you say. Okay, we've got 9 minutes left. So if anybody is wanting to pay for a reading before I come off, let me know. So I don't come off. I'll wait. But if not, then I will come off earlier. Or if there's something spiritual on your mind that you want just something for me to clarify or talk to you about, then feel free. Not a personal reading. Also, when you choose self-respect over wishful waiting, you strengthen the signal that brings in love that's ready for you, money that's ready for you. Okay, when you're waiting, it's like the saying, a watched pot doesn't boil. When you're over here choosing and prioritizing and loving life, you become the magnet that automatically everything comes to you. Remember, you're a human being. Be, not a human doing, trying to fix and solve. That's your logical brain trying to come in. A lot of people, Spirit is reminding me of this as I'm sat here just sort of zoned out. Well, I was thinking about the bionic woman. But Spirit just came in and said to tell you this, to whoever's left listening or comes across this. Okay, a lot of people think that the opposite of love is hate. It's not, it's fear. Okay, if you were put on this earth right now as an adult, as at the age you are, okay, and you had no fears and only love, you would see the world completely different and you would experience the world completely different. Fear is what keeps things separate from you. Nothing is separate from you. Everything exists because you're aware of it in your reality. Remember, if there are 8 billion people on this planet, there are 8 billion different realities going on right now. You will never experience my reality, and I will never experience your reality. You are reflecting some part of me back to me, and I am reflecting some part of you back to you. Okay? So if you had no fears, and we are only actually born with 2 fears, the fear of loud noises and the fear of being dropped, okay, all those other fears are based on things you've reacted to, things you've believed, things you've been taught, other people's fears, etc., etc., etc. It's things that have gone into your subconscious and is still running. Remember, your conscious mind and your subconscious mind work differently, but they are still part of you as all that is. This is your world. Okay, the story you're telling yourself, the labels you're going around sticking on things, the limiting beliefs you have, and the memories you're bringing in from all memories that are existing, but you keep choosing one, choose another. If you can think of another memory, you can replace that memory. That's not the only past that exists. You can put in anything. Okay? So that you're not stuck in that loop. You're not bringing it forward all the time. Okay? So look at what you're putting on things. If you're operating from fear more than you're operating from love, and love is everything. You're loving yourself, you're loving life, you're loving what you're doing. Okay, if you had no fear, if you took the fear out of love, your life would be amazing, but you're the one bringing the fear into it. There's nothing to fear. Nothing is separate from you. You can't lose anything. You're not separate from anything. Nothing can leave you because it only exists in your awareness. But it's how you're aware of it and who you're identifying as, the person who has it or the person who doesn't have it. Okay, so Spirit, thank you very much. Yeah, fruitful thoughts. Look at all this fruit on your head. Have fruitful thoughts. It doesn't mean trying to be a positive bunny all day long. Okay? It means have more fruitful thoughts in alignment with what you want and not in what you don't want. Why is it that when I did EFT to release my fears, it led me to more into a hole? I do not use it. A lot of people swear by it, but because that's their belief. Remember, everything is like the placebo effect. If you believe that it's going to work, it's going to work. If you try it and you didn't like it, then it's not for you. Doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. It's like I don't do affirmations anymore. I mean, yes, we're always affirming something. I want a cup of coffee is affirming something. Okay, but I don't purposely sit there repeating something. I have 1 million viewers. I have 1 million subscribers. I have XYZ over and over and over again. If it pops into my head, I remind myself there is only right now, so I obviously have it, even if I can see it or not. Okay, because if I am doing repetition or robotic affirmations or doing anything, that puts me in a lack state. It puts me into, I have to do this to get that, when it's not separate from me. I just mean that I have it. I mean, it worked, but then it led into it. I don't know. Perhaps it didn't. It wasn't the EFT that caused anything. Nothing causes anything other than the story behind it. Okay, so you might have subconsciously heard or come across a video or heard someone speak negatively about it. You might have gone into the old identity of you that was trying to still exist and didn't like you changing your identity. It wanted to throw everything at you. It doesn't work. It's horrible. Oh, it works, but it's not going to last. It's going to take you down. You never know how your sneaky little thoughts come in to keep you stuck as the old identity. You don't have to do EFT. Okay? It doesn't mean that if you, anything, you don't have to script, you don't have to do robotic affirmations, you don't have to do anything other than when it pops into your head, the thing that you're wanting or thinking about, it's how you're thinking about it. Okay? You probably did EFT because you heard or came across a video or heard somewhere that EFT helped you to get what you wanted, helped somebody get what they wanted, helped them to manifest what they wanted. Okay, so you tried it. I did it for like a day and I was like, this is just doing nothing for me. Crystals do nothing for me. Wafting sage around does nothing for me. Horoscopes do nothing for me anymore. Okay, I've dropped so many placebo things or other people's beliefs, or you've got to do this to get that. I just know that if I want something, it's already mine. All I have to remember to do is every time I think about it, to remind myself there is only right now and I already have it. Oh yeah, I've already got that. I've already got this. I have everything I want. My life is perfect. There is only right now. So of course I have everything I want. Okay, right. Does that answer that question, my lovely? Remember, time is a belief that we've been imposed on us. There is no time in the universe. Everything exists right now. Okay, my lovelies. Right, I'm going to leave that with you there. I will see you on Wednesday for any of you who are hanging around. Love you all. Thank you for being with me. Love and light.